It is nearly impossible to really truly understand the Battle of Umbara in context without understanding the history of the planet and its relations with the Republic. So I figured today, before we jump into the Battle of Umbara in battle analysis, we could discuss what Umbara's relationship with the Republic looks like and a little bit about the history of the world. I'm Colin, and this is Sci-Fi Deep Dive. Remember, if you enjoyed this video, to head down below and hit that subscribe button. So we're all familiar with Umbara, the shadowy world shrouded in darkness that was invaded by the Republic around the midpoint, a little after the midpoint, of the Clone Wars. But what's not often discussed is the history of the planet, their relationship with the Republic, and the events that actually led up to the Battle of Umbara. So I figured today, before we, dive into the Battle of Umbara, we should discuss what Umbara's relationship with the Republic was like, and a little bit about what's happened with the planet up to this point. So as many of you may know, Umbara is a relatively isolationist world, not really interacting with the rest of the galaxy very much, and tending to keep to their own. As a result, they ended up developing some remarkable technology that was rather advanced compared to the rest of the galaxy, and far too complex for most other species to really get a grasp of. We see this on full display during the Battle of Umbara, as a lot of this technology is military in nature, be it a kind of chemical that is used to enhance the effectiveness of their soldiers, hence the breathing apparatuses on their own planet, a number of heavy armored vehicles with complex systems of ray shields protecting them from most kinds of munitions, and a type of strike fighter that is very, very maneuverable and rather versatile in the roles it can fill. And obviously it can be inferred that these technical advances were not just limited to the military, we were simply only seeing the military perspective because of the context that we see Umbara in during the Clone Wars, but the point stands that Umbara is a relatively advanced world, and once again, this technology didn't really spread around the galaxy because of the isolationist mentality of the Umbaran people. That being said, they weren't necessarily isolationist in their entirety, and did play their roles in the galactic community. The Umbarans had been members of the Galactic Republic for a very long time before the outbreak of the war. In fact, they had been pretty staunch supporters of the Republic throughout the crisis that predated the war. As the Separatist crisis ravaged the galaxy and shook everyone's allegiances, making those, particularly in the Outer Rim, question their dedication to the Republic, the Umbarans remained firm on their loyalty to Republic ideals, even pledging their support to the Republic in the event of a war, which ultimately would come at the conclusion of the Separatist crisis with the outbreak of the Clone Wars. But I'm getting ahead of myself. At the time of the outbreak of the war, the Umbarans were represented in the Galactic Senate by Senator Medici, who was beloved by his people, and represented the Umbarans pretty firmly in the Galactic Republic Senate. During the first half of the war, we can see Medici actually supporting causes in the Senate that would further escalate the conflict. Things like additional clone troopers and higher financial compensation for the suppliers of the Republic military. However, obviously, with the planet having been invaded by the Republic around the midpoint of the war, something has to change for Umbara to switch hands, and that unfortunately comes with a sharp political shift surrounding the assassination of Senator Medici. His death kind of changed the political landscape on Umbara, a world that had been very loyal to the Republic. Many on Umbara likely blamed the Republic for Medici's death, either citing the Republic's inability to keep him safe, or accusing the Republic of carrying out the assassination themselves, likely in an effort to secure Umbaran technology for the war effort, something that they hadn't quite given up to the Republic quite yet. Seeing this situation, a large populist movement spread quickly across Umbara, and soon after the death of their senator, the Umbarans seceded from the Republic, deciding instead to align their planet with the Confederacy of Independent Systems. Now, the CIS was always willing to welcome new worlds into their ranks, as it was ultimately a competition between these two states as to who could win over more independent systems. But more importantly, the Separatists were willing to welcome the Umbarans in because of their advanced technology and the sort of potential they had to further the Separatist war effort. And it's this exact potential that pushed the Republic over the edge and led to the Battle of Umbara, the Republic seeing Umbara as a significant resource, mostly in their technological capacity, for whichever side could claim Umbara as their own. As such, the Republic planned and mounted an invasion of the planet to retake it for the Republic war effort. But that leads us up to the Battle of Umbara. After allying themselves with the Separatists at the midpoint of the war, following the death of their senator, the militia on Umbara quickly became one of many militias that were serving the Confederacy of Independent Systems. If you'd like to learn about these militias that were serving alongside the battle droids, I'll leave a link up here to my video on Separatist militias. And I'd like you to let me know down in the comments whether you think it really makes sense for the turmoil surrounding the death of Medici to lead to the Umbarans shifting sides in this galactic conflict. Is it a really extreme reaction for the Umbarans to leave the Republic over this? Or do you think it makes sense? After all, there was mystery surrounding his death. And if you have anything else you'd like to see me cover in Star Wars, you can let me know down below in the comments. Last but not least, if you enjoyed this video, head down below, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon so you get notified when I upload new videos. So for Sci-Fi Deep Dive, I'm Colin, and I will see you next time.